Welcome to the Rising Consciousness Show, 20 minutes of soulful insights and powerful tools to elevate your life experience and create with higher clarity, intention, and vision. I'm Tara Antler, intuitive healer and soul coach.
And I'm King Gabriel, spiritual teacher and practitioner. And we are the co-founders of Ascension Academy of Life,
a global center for spiritual growth, intuitive healing, and soul alignment.
Get ready to blast off.
Hello. So grateful to be here for another episode.
Yes.
Part 3 of our intuition conversation. So this is another question that we often get from a lot of people in our world, even when we're interviewed on other people's podcasts. How do you help others open their intuition?
Yeah, that's a big question, and
it is a big question.
It's definitely a common question. Would you like me to start?
Yeah, go for it. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
So I would say that from my experience and the people that I've helped with their intuition, most people actually already have a connection with their intuition.
Yep.
The challenge is that they have a lot of information and things that they focus on that they let override that. Okay, for instance, and I'll give an example of this. If you're having an inkling to, let's say, like I said in the last section we did, to go meditate at a specific time, but then you're thinking, oh, well, people who meditate just sit down there for an hour. They call it belly button gazing or whatever, right? And they're just, you never heard belly button gazing before? Okay, yeah.
Hilarious.
And they're just wasting time, right?
Wow.
Nothing really happens. If you have something like that that's speaking to you in that moment, then you're not gonna go do what you're being called to do. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's not only through meditation. This is in all areas we're talking about here. So then there's something that's over that, something that is hanging out as an energy or a filter above your intuition. And that's where most people are trapped. So really, when helping people to open their intuition, what we're really helping them to do is to unmask the intuition, to get rid of the stuff that's stopping them from hearing it correctly or receiving the message correctly, removing that filter. Right. So that's
because you already have intuition.
Yeah.
This is something we tell all of our clients, is that it's not something that we're going to give you. We can't give you intuition.
No,
you already have intuition. That's like me saying, I'm going to give you the sense of taste. You already have the sense of taste. It's just sometimes, like Gabriel said, there's blocks in our sinuses and then we don't taste properly. Sometimes something's going on with the mouth and then we don't taste properly. Like there's all sorts of things that can inhibit the taste receptors on your tongue, and it's the exact same thing with your intuition. There's certain things that have blocked our intuition over time, which we go into detail in Thrive 365 about that. So I won't go into too much detail about it here, but there are a lot of things that have blocked our intuition. For example, fear. The movies people watch. Oh my gosh, I think about the movies that I watched as kids, the horror movies, Chucky, It movie, Friday the 13th. Like, holy cow, those things were scary, man. Clown House. I still have nightmares about that sometimes. And so that stuff is content, visual, energetic, emotional, spiritual content, mental content that goes into your framework, into your third eye, into your eyes, into your body, into your entire being, and starts to build up these layers and barriers to then you having a really open intuition, because all of a sudden you're like, what if I see that?
So it sounds like it's fear related there.
Totally.
It sounds like it's a bit of fear there, right? And I would say that that's definitely something that stops
the boogeyman, like, oh my God, what if I open up my intuition, I see dead people? What if I see like monsters that go bump in the night? Like there's all these fears that can come up from those barriers, right? And so I think that that's one layer, from what we take in visually and mentally, energetically. There's also things that we listen to, like when you hear repetitive things about yourself and your beingness, that goes into your patterning, that goes into your framework. And sometimes it limits us, where it's like, who do you think you are to be intuitive? You're not a psychic. Or sometimes we're afraid to even use that word psychic because of what it might mean from this lifetime or other lifetimes. Right? So there's all these barriers, and there's chemicals in our food and stuff in our air. Like there's all sorts of things that influence our intuition and our natural ability to just be open. And so one of the things that we do in our program, in our intuition and higher self-mastery program, which is now called the Divine Channel, is to help our clients access the divinity within them first, access the highest point of energetic attraction, availability, source energy, because if I don't intuit from that place, then I could be picking up on maybe what Gabriel's thinking, what you're thinking, what the world's thinking, what that bird over there is thinking, you know? And so my intuition is on and it's picking up on stuff, but I may not be getting the clearest source connection or clarity coming through.
Yeah, it's connection and communication as well, right? Like Tara, for instance, if we're in a conversation and Tara says something and I interpret it a specific way, I won't be hearing what she's saying. I'll be hearing what I think about what she's saying, right? That's what I'll be hearing.
And that happens all the time.
And that happens all over. So just like that in intuition, some people hear a specific message, but then they make it mean something that it wasn't meant to mean because of their personal experience in life.
And perceptions.
Yeah, their perception through personal experience. They've had the experiences that tell them this is what it is. So then when they listen to the simple message, they make it into this big elaborate story that it's not. And then the message is distorted. Yeah. Right? So it's about being able to hear that clearly, receive it clearly, and clear yourself out enough so that you can receive the message just as it is. If someone says, "Hi, my name is Frank," you don't hear, "Hi, oh, I like hot dogs because my name is Frank, like Frankfurter or whatever," and you're going to all of that stuff, right? None of that. All of that, because people go that far. You'd be surprised.
Absolutely.
They hear a whole different thing. Next thing they call in the guy hot dog instead of Frank or something like that, you know? So this is the thing. If we can be clear enough, right, to not have those minor distortions, then we hear things as they are. We receive things as they are. We can receive the inner tuition just as it is, and we can learn a bit faster.
Yeah. Right. So that's the first piece, is that I would say we know already that intuition is a part of you. It's not something that we give you. So that's the first piece. The second piece is then to clear our clients, help them clear those blocks, those barriers, the distortions, the distractions, so that naturally they can return to their intuitive gifts. And then the third piece I would say would be practice. Yes. We do a lot of practice in all of our teachings, where we're not just talking to a tree or an ancestor or an angelic being or a guide or talking to their higher self. We actually do the practice. We actually guide them through real time live. Right then. And it's so powerful. And we had somebody, it was in Q&A the other day. She said, gosh, she goes, I can access a lot on my own when I just sit and meditate on my own. But I got to tell you guys, she's like, when we were in that channeling circle the other night, I accessed stuff that I didn't even think was possible. So she was thanking the entire group because as a collective, we amplify each other's energy. What you can do on your own is powerful. And there's that saying, right? Where two or more are gathered, you amplify the energy. You amplify prayers, you amplify meditation, you amplify your experience. And the same is true with your intuition. So all of a sudden, when people come into a really safe, sacred container for channeling, where it's of the light, in the light, of the light, for the light, now we can have a higher experience for everybody, where everybody starts accessing these higher level points of their own intuition and are just totally floored by it. Right? So I think that's the next piece. And the last piece that I would say is really different than maybe other intuition things that I've seen out there is the ability to activate. So you can talk about intuition, you can read about intuition, you could learn about it through different, I guess, programs and things like that. But the art of activating is so powerful because it's activating your senses, it's activating your chakras, your body, your emotions, your mind, your energetic body, your energetic centers. It's really like turning all the lights on. That's how I see an activation. It's like fireworks cascading through the whole being and turning the light on in a way that has never happened before. It's kind of like an attunement. And so those energy activations, what I've found and heard from clients is as feedback is that it really opens them up to their next level. So even when people are already doing card readings, for example, they're taken up to a whole other level. They're like, whoa, what I'm seeing now, like I don't even need the cards. Because a lot of times people will rely on these external things, right? They'll rely on pendulums or cards, which is fine. It's a great starting point. They're great tools to have as a support system. But what if you could get to the place where you don't need them? It's fun to have them. You could choose to use them, but you don't need them. And this is what we found a lot of our clients get to, is that they're able to access really high level information and clarity for themselves and their clients, that they don't need the cards.
Agreed. And we've had people also come in saying that they're not able to see or feel anything. Like they can't see things, they don't feel anything, they feel like inside it's nothing happening.
Yeah.
And then through just simple exercises that we've done, we've had some of them say things like, "Oh, I finally saw the light." Remember?
Yeah.
I won't call a name here, but we've had people actually have that happen within our retreat settings and within other settings as well, where they dive in and they finally get to see. They see the light. Their third eyes open within the experience of it, and then they get to say, "Well, wow, there I was talking about it from the outside, but now I'm actually inside. I see that this is real. I see that this is true. It's not just something for everyone else. It's for me too." Right? And that's something that's possible for everyone.
And actually, I want to add to that, because there is someone that I can mention that we have permission to.
Okay.
Well, we have permission to, and you'll know who I'm talking about as soon as I say the person's name. Because he is going to be on one of our podcasts, and also he wants us to interview him, which is a huge stretch for him. Yeah. So I've been talking to him about this for months now, and he was like, "I can't do it." He goes, "Oh, I'm going to pass out." His face would get all red. That's what I thought you were talking about. So we have a client, Mike, and a lot of clients will say, you know, "Oh, women or people, not even clients. I'll say people out there. They'll say, "Oh, women are just naturally more intuitive." I don't believe that at all.
They call it women's intuition.
Yeah, yeah. I don't believe that at all. I think men and women equally, just as children. Yeah. Our boys are just as intuitive as Arya.
Yep.
So that doesn't seem to matter. Like gender doesn't seem to matter. No. And so this is what I found within working with men in our programs too, which I love, is that you get to witness these massive expansion points and growth for them too. Yes. And so Mike coming in, like his wife was already very intuitive, like very, very dialed in, would get all sorts of messages. And I think he was kind of feeling a little left out, that, you know, he wasn't in Thrive. He wasn't in some of the things she was doing. And a curiosity sparked within him. And so he came into a couple of our programs, I think Meditation and Thrive, 365. Yep. And since that time, like Gabriel had just mentioned, he couldn't see colors before. He couldn't get images before. Now he had a guide come to him the other night. He had an angelic being come to him. He saw a big ball of light. He actually saw the outline of the being. He saw colors. Like he was having a full visual experience of the energetic world, which had never happened to him before. And so he's like floored, right? Like he said, he goes, I just can't believe this, you know, like he's in awe of what just happened. But that's the beauty of what can happen when you show up and you're open. When you're open to receive, which he is very open to receive. He's very humble. That's the other thing too. Mike is very, very humble. And I feel like that curiosity that he has, I see this inner child with him, you know, all the time, of a curiosity, the curious boy that's there, that's like, I know that this is possible. Like I had this once before and I really want to remember and reclaim it, you know? And so watching him reclaim his power and his gifts is like, it's like Christmas for me whenever he's in class, because there's so much expression and light and gratitude. And like, he just is so much is opening. So it's not just women. It's not just the intuitives. It's not just the healers. It's not just the coaches. This is everybody. He's a paramedic. Right. And so, and I think it's so miraculous to be able to witness people expand in this way. And they didn't expect it. They wanted it, but they let go enough. And I think that that's a key piece too, is to let go of the expectation. Like you want it, but you're willing to let go at the same time. You want the opening, and yet you're able to be curious. And that's what having a good sense of humor does. Mike has a very good sense of humor, by the way. Right, really funny. But I'm talking about humor on the many levels here, not humor in terms of laughs alone, but humor as in being able to be there and navigate situations in a way where things are not so serious and heavy, but you're willing to look at them in a different way. That ability right there is key. And that's something we develop in the program as well, because through the shift in perspectives and the shifts in how you view things, you're able to see that the situation itself is not a lock that's binding you. It's a means for your growth, a means for expansion, and a means for you to become more competent in shifting the energy so that you can receive more clearly and put in effect exactly what you have to put in effect from that point forward. And I would say that that's what Mike really dove into and has made a significant change
in where he's at. And it happened overnight for him because,
It was
again,
fast.
when you're willing like that, and the same thing for Peter, another guy who came into our thing now, he had a huge event happen for him the other day as well, psychically. So what I would say is the moment that you're ready to, willing to dive in, willing to be open, it's like your intuition is waiting to just bust through. And as soon as you become that correct match for it by letting go of the other stuff, there it is.
Yeah.
There it is for you.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And so, your intuition's already there.
Yeah.
It's already there. It's just waiting for you to open. It's
Yes.
waiting for you to ignite it. It's waiting for you to water it a little. Maybe
Yeah.
take some of the things off that aren't serving, and then it will naturally open. It wants to open. It's part of your gifts. It's part of who you are. And so this is a reclaiming of yourself and coming back to you. And we're so grateful that we get to work with so many amazing women and men in their development of their intuition, because it's so much more fun. Like, I think about in partnership, for example, I couldn't imagine being in a relationship with someone who's not intuitively open. And I'm so grateful to see Mike and Kelly as well, to be in their partnership, the next evolution of their relationship, both being open and intuitive, where he's not feeling anyhow less than what she can do because he's got the same capacity.
Yep.
And that's an up-leveling relationship. That's a whole other conversation, which we could have at some time. But that's a whole other level of a relationship where you see and meet each other as equals.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's so many benefits. There's so many reasons why I would say, why would someone expand their intuition? I would say it's for everything. It's for every single interaction that you have on this planet. It will make everything so much easier and brighter.
I agree. And speaking on the relationship topic just now, just like the relationship between teacher and student, like you were speaking about, could be a giving up of power. Sometimes in relationships, if one person is the person that has the intuition or whatever, they would be become sort of a teacher, and that could feel like an imbalance.
That's right.
But when you have two people functioning on all cylinders, right, then there's not that imbalance. It's okay, you have that perspective, that's awesome, you follow that over there, that's awesome, and here's mine, and I feel that, and this is awesome too. And we both go and we both get results, and that's beautiful. So if you want to come and learn more, if you're ready to take that leap, if you want to expand your intuition, you want to open it up, you want to refine it, you want to clear out some of the distractions, the distortions, we're going to leave a link below. Book a connect call with Gabriel. Book a connect call with us so that we can find out a little bit more about your journey, your path, your intuition, where you're at now, where you want to go. And we'll see if it's a great fit and it's in alignment for you. We openly receive you and would welcome you in. It's such a beautiful community, a beautiful place to hang out. We're always doing energy activations and attunements and to open the intuition. And we would welcome you happily. It's a great place to continue growing, to continue evolving, to continue ascending. Your soul has a journey, and I know that it's excited about this with you. So
absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
Awesome. Well, we hope you have the most beautiful day today. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing your time, your space, and your energy with us. We can't wait to connect again soon. Thank you so much for joining us today on another episode of the Rising Consciousness Show. For more high vibration conversations, meditations, energy activations, and tips and tools on creating your most exceptional life, we lovingly invite you to connect with us at academyoflight.ca. The website is www.academyoflight.ca. It is time to create your heaven on earth experience, and we look forward to sharing this beautiful journey with you.
You're listening to Rising Consciousness. Yeah.
Woo!
Woo!